how can we meet the teams? It's a private event, but we want to come meet the teams. Well, we have good news for you guys. We do have a viewing party scheduled, and it's going to be this Sunday, the final day of the tournament. It will be, let's see, what is the location?
It's going to be in Rancho Cucamonga, home of the Workaholics for those fans.
Is that where the show is?
Yeah, it's supposed to be in Rancho.
Can we go crash the next?
Well, the actual house is like over in West Hollywood.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel so betrayed.
It's like the house they like rented out for college at UCLA or something. But they in the show they're in Rancho. Like,
Okay.
in an episode, one of them tries to run as like a counselor of Rancho.
Someone came to visit us the other day, and I said that he saw the sign and he just started laughing. It's like Cucamonga. It's like, what's so funny, man? He's like, I don't know. It's just a funny name. So, you get all types.
We're actually not located in Rancho Cucamonga though, so don't go.
Oh, no, go to Rancho.
Oh yeah, that's where we live.
Come by the house. Come by the house, y'all.
We live in Rancho.
So the viewing party, I'm trying to load the document here, is going to be in Rancho Cucamonga. It will be. It starts at 10 a.m. and it goes until after the event's over.
Yes.
So basically, the way the final day will work is this Sunday we'll have the lower bracket finals pretty early in the morning. We'll have a 2-hour break in the middle, and hopefully during that break, that's when we start bringing the teams over.
Right.
So we're not sure if every team will be able to make it before the event's over, but definitely we'll have some of the teams come by. You'll be able to get autographs.
Right.
Just hang out, pictures, the opportunity to meet these players that don't come to Los Angeles really ever.
Right.
So.
Unfortunately, not every team is filled with big daddies who are just outgoing and willing to meet everyone, but it's good. It's good. Cheer for your favorite team to lose, so they'll be there and not at the grand finals instead.
That's messed up, man. You're a sick man.
All right. There we go. Here's our document.
It is going to be at the 66 Sports Bar, Rancho Cucamonga.
There we go.
And we'll also have a ton of swag, guys, a ton of free giveaways. We'll have some, I believe, some shirts from Valve. We'll have some Twitch shirts, some other swag, stuff that's yet to be announced, some gear as well.
Announcements of announcements.
Yes. We might even have a Yamate Orange Esports jacket to give away.
Oh, shit.
Yes, an original. All right. So with that being said, the viewing party, again, is going to be this Sunday starting at 10 a.m., June 8th at 10 a.m., and it'll be a viewing party, and then it'll convert into an after party. So when the event's over, hopefully all the players, but definitely most of them will come by. You'll be able to get signatures, just be in the same room as them, and have a lot of fun. That'll be at the 66 Sports Bar in Rancho Cucamonga, California, and we'll be tweeting out about that all day long. Let your friends know, and be sure to come. So with that being said, Navi versus Narvi, K-pop.
I'm excited.
How you feeling?
I'm excited. A lot of people, before the group stages even started, this was the match that everyone kind of looked at the group stage schedule and said, this is the match I'm looking forward to. Not necessarily because it's going to have the biggest impact on the playoffs afterwards or on the group stage standing as a whole, but Navi is probably the most recognizable brand in Dota just because they won the first international. They have some of the biggest personalities in the game. So everyone kind of knows who Navi is, even those that aren't terribly into following Dota religiously. So seeing them pick up a squad like Navi US, who are filled with North American legends of their own, is very exciting, and to see them face off is even more exciting.
Yeah, it's quite a legacy for Navi US to be thrust into, and
yeah,
they had some trial by fire yesterday. Still looking for that first win. It was not a very good day for them.
It was not.
They're 0-4.
They're 0-4.
Just to set the stakes, and we have Navi, who's currently 2-2. So if Navi wins this game, they'll be 3-2, and there is potential today for a 5-way tie with 5 teams finishing 3-2.
Please no.
We hope it doesn't happen, because then it's going to be a very long day.
We actually, well, you might want that to happen, because we've decided we had a big powwow last night, and everyone we're going to do a trial by combat.
Oh.
Yeah, so each team gets to select their champion, not like
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, exactly. Not like their League of Legends champion, like their actual like a player on the team to fight to the death to other teams. Well, not to the death, because then it would be hard to move on without stand-ins.
Well, no, it could be to the death, just not in our backyard.
Okay, fair enough.
We'll have to bring them around the block a little bit.
Okay, so if you want that to happen, if you want to see a battle royale, actually, whether or not it's to the death, I guess, would be up for a vote. So if someone wants to make a straw poll and post it in Twitch chat about whether or not the battle royale should be to the death, or to maybe like
until the first arm's gone.
Yeah.
How many appendages remain before
the actual
battle
specifics are up for debate still. So we'll work on that later.
Well, let me tell you, Fnatic's in pretty good shape.
Oh God,
and Narvi.
But he's like the Mountain though. Like he might not be that good of a fighter in the ring. We'll see.
Who do you
I don't
think's
want
the-
to spoil anything.
Who do you think's the most
actually.
deceptively? Well, actually, the draft is well underway, so we should talk a bit
We
about
should
the
actually
draft.
talk about the draft.
No more trial by combat. And well, with that being said, it was I believe a first overall pick Lycan. Is that correct?
I believe so. And that's
Followed up by a Mirana Enchantress by Navi.
yes.
And Navi US then goes for the Disruptor. Something we saw a lot of in the American qualifiers for TI4. It was that go-to Whitebeard Disruptor.
Right.
And Navi US going very heavy team fight and some good push here as well. They'll pick up the Dragonite. They've already got a Tide Hunter, and this will give them quite a scary 5-man lineup. Though they are running triple melee heroes for the melee stage, or for the
Yeah.
laning stage. We'll see how that works. The melee stage.
We'll
see how that works out.
We're going to have a melee. But no, I like the Dragonite pickup. I'm actually surprised that Navi didn't do a second stage ban on the Dragonite, because normally you'll see a lot of teams that pick Lycan, they'll try to not substitute, but supplement that with more push, right? It's hard to push. It's hard to pick like a naked Lycan without like a Nature's Prophet or Dragon Knight, even a Death Prophet. Sometimes another hero to back up the pushes, because Lycan's not really a hero that is as much of a death ball pusher as some of these other heroes. So usually you want to have like focus your strategy and not just pick kind of a Lycan because Lycan. So I'm surprised Navi didn't ban it out, but I think it's okay. I think
It's a Radiant Lycan
Yeah,
as well.
I
and
don't
that,
think they
that
need to worry about it
definitely
that
makes
much.
it less scary. But
right.
well, I think we're going to see a Dendi Kunkka here.
I'm excited. It's
pretty
been a really long time since I've seen Dindy Kunkka. I actually need to look.
I am surprised Kunkka's
Research
not
while
being
I'm
picked
here.
like every game. That hero just keeps on getting buffed.
Okay, there's this. Okay.
He has a 400 AoE nuke that also makes your team take less
So,
damage on a
remem-
1-minute cooldown.
Remember when I like first started working for you guys?
Yes.
Like Alien World Cup last year, a little bit before, specifically Dota 2 Super League. The Chinese teams were picking Kunkka like every game. He was first pick, first ban for like a month. Then he got buffed, and people stopped picking him, and he's gotten buffed twice since then.
Yes.
I don't know what happened. Like there was this period where it was first pick, first ban for like a month in China, and then he got buffed 3 times, and they stopped picking him. I
Yeah,
don't.
the latest change was that the X lasts twice as long on your teammates. So
I don't.
they can just go super deep and then you pull them back, or
Yeah.
you can, bail them out from a
And the-
Disruptor glimpse.
the longer Coco's Rum buff too.
Actually, that could be an interesting interaction.
Dude, Timbersaw, Enchantress, they're just like not gonna die in team fights.
And on top of that, you got Glimpse, no problem. We'll X you right back. We could have
Yeah,
heroes
there
being
you go.
pulled all over the place.
You gotta pre-X one of your teammates. Well, I guess that adds up to you being chased down and caught too. So that'll be interesting to see the combination X's and glimpses coming into play here.
So it looks like a Funnic Timbersaw as well as a Havost Marana. Most likely
Yes.
we'll see Kuro and Puppy probably just the Enchantress applying the early lane pressure. The Sand Cane should be off in the jungle stacking and looking for a fast blink. And the one thing I do like for Navi EU is that they've picked up the Sand Cane in a game where Navi US is not really going to contest their jungle.
Right.
They have a Tide. Maybe he'll bully a bit in the off lane if there's a support there, or the Murano will have a slightly difficult time. But the Sand King will not be challenged too much in the laning stage, and that means it should be a fast blink.
So you know something that I was thinking about the other day? I want to see what your opinion of this is, because it's kind of a weird idea. I think one of the bigger buffs to Disruptor was the day-night cycle change, honestly. So think about it. When Disruptor hits, a lot of Disruptors are putting 3 points in Glimpse now.
Mm-hmm.
So once you get to that 8-9 minutes is normally when your supports are hitting level 6 in general. That's usually the time. And previously, that was nighttime. So you had 900 vision or lower. It was very hard to get those max range glimpses off. But now, you're at your second day. When you have that point in Static Storm, you're able to just about pick off anyone with a glimpse kinetic field Static Storm.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's one of the bigger buffs to Disruptor, just in terms of his early game presence.
Yeah, that's a good point. And, I mean, you look at this draft now, they can pretty much just run down anybody.
Oh,
Between
man.
glimpse, spammable stuns, and they go for the three-headed dragon strat.
Oh, this hero's so good.
This lineup will murder towers. They not only have Lycan, but they're also running a hero with Liquid Fire as well as Dragonite with his Corrosive Breath. So watch out, Navi towers. Navi EU towers. You are not long for this world. And with that being said, we're now underway with Navi EU, or UVI, versus Navi US, or Navi.
Nah.
The tables of turn. We do have a game, right?
Yes, we
Roland.
do. I think he was just, there you go. I think Roland's getting used to the picture-in-picture thing. He was.
He's having some fun with his
Oh,
toys.
Dindy's rocking the Cyborg Kunkka set. Either that or the sniper, or he's being targeted by a sniper. Targeted by a sniper.
Well, Navi NA is, or Navi US is definitely one because they've got the triple dragon strat. You can't beat that.
Triple dragons, man.
Pack it in, Navi EU
It's done.
fanboys. Pack it in. But we will see both teams go aggressive into the enemy jungle, and for Navi US, I think this is actually pretty good. If they want, they could even try to ward off the Sand Kings camps, although looks like they're not going to go that far. They're thinking about it. Okay, they will ward 2. They don't ward that one big camp deep in the enemy jungle, which generally is where you see most of the Sand Kings stacking.
I actually like this draft out of Narvi a lot more than I liked it, like the kind of push specific lineup relative to like what Fnatic did last night in the last game, because they didn't go full, they didn't go all the way, right? Navi is specifically, Navi US is making sure that they have a lot more team fight, a lot more ways to back it up, so if they're like early game, they're not like going to lose the game at 25 minutes if they haven't taken racks. And when we saw Fnatic last night, they went all in, they had a Pugna, every single hero on their team was a pusher, they had a support juggernaut, and since when they didn't take the racks at 25 minutes, the game was over. Whereas Navi US, they can go, they don't want to go late, but they can if they have to.
Yeah, they have a slightly more versatile draft in that sense. Right. Navi EU really excelling at just pickoffs and team fight, whereas, like you said, Navi US can split push, they can 5-man, and they can take towers very quickly.
I think this is one of the stronger styles of drafts right now in this patch. Heavy push, but also the ability to team fight quite well in the mid-game.
So we'll take a look at the lanes here, and it looks like Navi EU, in a slightly unexpected move, are going aggressive tri-lane, actually.
Yeah.
Or is this a tri-lane?
I like this.
Yeah, I haven't seen the Sand King yet. Yeah.
Puppy's been setting up
full-on tri-lane. Well, that monoburn creep is going to be very annoying. As we see 1437 trying to kill it off, but yeah, Sand King not normally your go-to aggressive tri-lane support, but now he's going to find 1437. Theban.
That was not the best.
Way off on his own.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Oh, man.
And he'll go down first blood.
That was unexpected.
And that, you do not want to be giving an Enchantress first blood.
Navi EU actually has a really nice observer ward in the jungle, which is part of how they got vision of him trying to be clever near the trees. And they are playing in the dark down here, I believe. I don't see a ward on the minimap anyway.
Yeah, I really think that...
for the US side.
Right. I think that Narvi thought that since they didn't have any camps blocked, they might not have had a ward like placed up there, but... Yeah, not the best position to leave in there.
Well, losing the disruptor early now, Puppy, he feels pretty free to roam.
Right.
The nice thing for Navi EU is they don't have to camp on an aggressive Trident. It's not like this is an aggressive Trident lifestealer against, a couple ranged heroes or something. This is an all-flame Mirana, so they're free to go back to the jungle for the Sand King if they so choose. The Enchantress can go pressure mid, and actually, this is a very killable hero, the Dragon Knight, if they get the right creeps. They're going in now. I believe Enchantress is coming.
And now talk about how, whoa.
Well,
yeah.
So much for that, I guess.
Good job by Cork spot out, but he's still kind of in no. I think he'll be fine. He'll be able to just leave back behind the offlane.
No, Puppy's still coming. No, okay.
Is Kuroki going to be able to get in range? He's got boots. I think he's going to be able to get in range for a burrow strike. No, but he's getting blocked up by Dindy. The torrent will hit, though.
That prediction. Great play. And
Kuroki, he wants more.
They don't have a torrent. He's free.
Smart move by Kuroki, though.
So
he's trying for it because he knew that Korok was going to fall.
Mid lane now, and obviously in trouble, and bottom lane not doing so hot either. So the Disruptor, one of those very level-dependent supports, has been shut down pretty heavily early on. And now, even worse, the Dragon Knight struggling. And this is where, for Dragon Knight, you've got really high base armor. Well, not base armor. You have really high armor from Dragon's Blood, but doesn't matter when he's just harassing you down with Tideburner, because you hit the creeps, it ignores your armor. So that's actually a surprisingly good matchup for Kunkka.
It really is. For those of you that don't know, cleave is never reduced by armor. So
can you tell me why everyone wants to punch me? What did I do?
I think that's just a standard thing. That you just. I think it's more punchable in a good way. Some people
it's punchable.
You've heard like
it's not like huggable.
It's like a you're a friend, like giving them the friendly punch. The punch on the
shoulder. The buddy punch.
Yeah, the buddy punch. That's what I'm saying.
And they're getting aggressive. This is classic Navi classic, as Zyori was calling yesterday.
This is the issue when Navi was running something as risky as Sanking and Enchantress aggressive tri-lane, but they got the first blood. They're able to do this type of stuff.
Radiant's
They're just running Navi US over, and all 3 lanes have now died. That's a support down and 2 cores, and at this point, I feel they could just completely go into the jungle. Sand King can farm 1 stack. The Enchantress can farm some of the other camps and just angle for that. You know, I guess at this point probably 12, 13-minute Blink Dagger, and then with X, oh, looks like Mirana's dropping pretty low in the river, and might go down here. I see Havost on the retreat. Oh, he'll be okay.
I think one of the bigger wins for Navi EU and all of this is just that Theban, or I mean not Theban, but the Sand King and the Enchantress have been roaming for the last 2-3 minutes after that first blood, and Snake was not doing very well. He's trying to call up to see if
Oh! Off the mark. The boat just wasn't there. And, well, now they're trying to run down Korok, but I don't think they have the skill. Puppy's getting real aggressive.
Oh, the 2 men.
Ooh, he gets a good stack.
I don't think there's anything to follow that up now. Nature's attention is already going.
All right, so they lose the Disruptor, and more good news for Navi EU. Everybody
Radiant's
lives.
middle tower is under
I
attack.
was saying before the Mirana died and Snaking was able to pick up a little bit, the Mirana was able to just out-farm the Lycan very easily. So, he's going to catch up a little bit. He's going to be able to do a little bit better 1v1 versus Pavos now, but as we get on, Kuroki's going to go on Brax top. Will he fall again? The Timber Chain will come through. Kuroki trying to get a body block off, but can't. And Brax will get away safely. No points in Kraken Shell in the off lane for Brax. It's a little bit surprising, especially against a long duration stun like Burrow Strike. But
Indeed.
as we're doing a little bit of audio tweaking here, guys. Hopefully we're a little bit louder now.
Yes.
And so, yeah, like
Apologies
I said,
for that. That's all my fault. So, tweet at LD Dota, fire LD. I do apologize for that, guys. We'll get it sorted out.
Yeah, we had to do a quick little change up of all of our audio stuff for this stuff for our tournament.
All of our audio stuff for this stuff. Sounds legit.
Jumps back on the Thunderstrike.
So much damage over time.
Yeah, Thunderstrike's actually really good. And Dindy will fall mid as well. So Narvi really coming back. Making some good pickoffs twice on Mirana in the river. Engaging on Dindy in mid. And Korok's going to even come back and do a little damage on the tower. Speaking of Korok, not only is this a Navi versus Navi matchup, it's
Dire's middle
Kuroki
tower
versus
is
Korok.
under attack.
I'm going to see how many times you mess it up this game.
Who's the real K-God?
He's the real K guy.
What about Karana?
Koraki?
Karanati.
Dire's
Karanati.
bottom tower is under
That's
attack.
hard to say. Well, Korok could get caught out here. No. What build is Denny gone for? Does he have that level 3X or? Yeah.
Yes.
So basically, you just X, you boat, and then you torrent immediately, and it's a guaranteed hit on all 3 if you do it right.
Exactly. That's for a while. I would see a lot of players keep the level 2 for the easy torrent, but it's a lot better to put a level 3.
Yeah, the boat is generally the harder one to hit. Just because it
Oh,
has that
the
longer
timber
term strike.
It's just going to blow him up, and Fog, he's going to get on now too. He's just going to try to TP away. And smart heads up play by him, knowing there's a sense of Host. I don't know if that arrow would have.
Meanwhile, in the river, we've got Puppy also on the chase. He's hunting Braxton. He's going to find him with a Dendy torrent. Brings him down with ease.
Dire's middle tower is under
Brax got
attack.
caught in the, oh, I'm going to go save my team, but take a bad path thing that hurts us all sometimes. I'm sorry, I'm really descriptive with my.
He's got Ravage now, so I guess that's the one good piece of news for Navi US is they could look to take a fight with Ravage and potentially get some kills here.
So you can doing a good job here.
How's our Sand King doing? Is he getting close to a Blink Dagger? Haven't really
He
seen.
hasn't been farming as much. He's
Up to
basically been killing.
1400.
The biggest thing is that he hasn't died yet, despite all of this engaging.
Yeah, 8 minutes in. I think he's actually taking the lane right now, it looks like. And once Kuroki gets a Blink Dagger, I'm actually very worried for Navi NA because heroes like Disruptor, Drakira are just so easy to catch out. And even Lycan can't split push freely. Sand King will struggle if he jumps into the tide, but anybody else, and he's just a great initiator. That's almost a guaranteed Mirana arrow most cases. Gives you time for the Kunkka to get in range for an X-Tor boat combo. And yeah, with Timbersaul's burst damage, the Sand King having a Blink Dagger that's the engine for their gang. Once he has it, I don't see Navi. I don't see Navi US not getting killed a lot by that, basically.
Right. It's just that Navi Classic.
We're struggling.
Getting gone on again.
It's just like you can't. There's no one name that just. Oh, that's what we're gonna call him now. The boat will fly out of it uselessly here, and They get a nice kill on the Kunkka. A much needed gank because, frankly, with that early pressure from the Enchanters, Korok was struggling a bit. He's only down 7 CS, but just was playing on the defensive end. Hey, end of the day, Na'Vi, like you said, more versatile draft. They can lose the lanes and still gank. They have Ravage here. Are they not going to fight this? I feel with Ravage they could, and back comes Brax. He's going to look to re-engage, but he hesitated a bit too much. That's a 3-hero Ravage. They'll bring down quite a few. 2 have fallen. Maybe more. Now they'll glimpse back Puppey. They're looking for a 4th. This is going to be Na'Vi EU getting run over. 7-6. Your score. Well, that's, again, to go back to what Dendy does get the tower tonight. That's pretty good. But to go back to what you said, K-Pop, it's a draft that has multiple ways to win the game. They can team fight heavily. They can go for some tower pushing. They can gank and split push if they need to. And even after losing the lanes, they've just come roaring back with a great team fight.
I want to
They almost screwed that up though. Like they
really did.
They really waited until the last second to go in with the Ravage. I was a bit surprised.
Brax did an amazing job with
Radiant's
knowing
middle
exactly
tower
how
is
far
under
the
attack.
Ravage would travel. Because if you notice, like almost 3 heroes were on the outside of the radius, and so he didn't walk in farther. If he waited longer to pop the Ravage, I think a hero for them might have died, and they wouldn't have been able to get the turnaround that they did. But he popped it as soon as he knew they were in range for everyone to get caught by the Ravage.
Yeah, that was max range on. I think it was
Like
the
3
one or 2 heroes at the outskirts.
Yes, it was.
And yeah, really crucial that he hits all 3, or else the Dragon Knight just goes down there.
So good play by Brax.
Indeed.
Doing well considering he
Dire's
had a bit of
bottom
a
tower is
struggle
under
in the
attack.
beginning to last offense. And they'll finally take a tower that
Dire's
they'll actually
bottom
get
tower
lasted for
has
it.
fallen.
Range, 10 minutes. That's the thing. Like, a level 3 and glimpse into a kinetic field is
Dire's
just about
bottom
a
tower
guaranteed
is
kill
under
on a lot of
attack.
these heroes.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And they start taking fights. They immediately start taking towers. In
Dire's
fact,
bottom
they're going to go
tower
high ground here. They don't actually have Ravage. I doubt we'll see them fully commit. No, maybe they will.
Another one.
That's 2 dead. They can start breaking the base. They might not kill the base, but they'll definitely threaten a tier 3 tower here. There's a buyback forced out at only 11 minutes into the game, but Na'Vi EU, I don't know if they actually take this. Ravage is probably cooling down soon. 30 seconds to go. The tower's going to fall.
Go for Rex?
Is this an 11-minute Rex? Is Na'Vi America really doing
This
this?
is smart.
Okay.
Take what you got.
No.
Okay.
They're losing Korok here.
That's
but
fine.
okay.
That's fine. Back off.
Radiant's
Get back.
top
Yeah,
tower
Fog
is under
is
attack.
probably.
No, they can turn this maybe. They do have Ravage soon. No, they're just going to start feeding.
Dire's bottom barracks are under attack.
They had ample time to back off there. They saw the buyback from the Timber, and they're like, you know what, maybe we can just break the base now. But if they had Ravage, I think they'd stay there, and they forced that. But without Ravage, they
Radiant's
just need
top
to back.
tower
And
is under attack.
that's a pretty costly overextension. They had just seized momentum back, then give up 3 kills, and, well, it's a topsy-turvy gold draft here.
The Sinking and the Disruptor are still fighting there, and the side shot down there.
Radiant's middle
Oh
tower is
no!
under attack.
He missed it. Kuroki found out Theben there trying to TP out and stunned him out with a Burrow Strike, and they just kind of slapped hands until Sinking came down.
Nature
Oh,
attend us.
Now they're just going to go Roche? Oh, no. What a turn
Roland.
of events the other direction.
Roland, give me credit, dude. I'm not on the casters. Come on, dude. I'm the overlay.
Yeah, we're giving God's credit.
Come on, man. I'm not gods.
Dire's
I have
top
an accent,
tower
but it's not
is
an
under
Aussie one.
attack.
I sound like gods.
Oh, God. It's not bad, man. I can affect it, man.
An
That's fun.
easy shot.
He's actually from Texas, you know. God spent
Not from
Radiant's
Texas.
well, he
bottom
spent
tower
10
is
years
under
there.
attack.
Spent a lot of time in Texas.
Some people think he's an Australian, but
Roshan
he's
has
just
fallen to
he's
the
a man
top.
with no home. He's not a true Australian. He's not a true Texan.
Those are 2 things that it's hard, like a very dedicated, like you're a true Texan or you're a true Australian. Like it's very hard to not be a full member of those communities. They would tear you apart if you don't, subscribe
Radiant's bottom
the
tower
culture
is
there.
under attack.
Well,
I don't know
meanwhile,
about Australia. I think they're a little.
Dire's top
Gotcha.
tower is
yeah,
under attack.
I agree. We might have a big engagement here. Ravage and Mech are online. US are pretty damn strong right now. Korok's going to start it off. He finds one with the Dragon Tail Shadow Blade. Then they break the Aegis immediately. They still have Ravage. Brax can zone them all out. Are they actually going on top of this tide? This is very questionable if they can't burst it on. He actually is short of mana. He doesn't have Ravage mana. He's so close to it. He needs 2 mana. Now he's got it, but it's too late. They've already lost the twin-headed
wanna blow it
dragon.
now.
And now they just want to run. He's just going to go down. Oh, these slight misplays from Navi US really adding up. This is going to be 3 dead. It might be more. It looked like an easy team fight for them, even with the Aegis in play, but now they lose 14-37. It's 4 dead. The lone survivor is Korok on that Dragon Knight, and they've just got to be saying, guys, what's going on here? Mech, I will say, Mech Tidehunter, though, that is a big drain on your mana. You do not have much to mess around with.
Yeah, especially with the brown boots, as we're getting pointed out by our observer. His mana pool is not exactly the largest.
And now he buys a magic stick, but he's wishing he had that in the fight. Oh, jeez.
It seems to me that maybe Narvi's
Radiant's middle
communication
tower
isn't
is under attack.
quite there yet as a team, as we saw maybe sticking around a little too late after taking that tower when they didn't have their big team fight ultimates up. They didn't have when they died at the racks. They didn't have Static Storm. They didn't have Ravage. A lot of the we see an engagement on Dindy here.
Oh, this would be a pretty big kill if they can
they
find
have
it.
to
Do
follow up?
they have detection for it?
Rolling down. I don't think they finished right now.
He's dropping pretty low, but we'll keep on shadow blading, and looks like he will best for Navi US. They still, end of the day, have 4 towers down.
They've been able to push.
They're running that triple-headed dragon strat, man. You can't not take towers with that.
Liquid Fire is just such a strong ability. The most underrated thing about Liquid Fire is I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't understand why it's that strong. Oh, it's considered that strong of a pushing ability. I know it affects towers, and I know it does damage, but it's not that. It's like not that much damage. The way it can snake. Oh, as you can see an X that he's gonna hit onto snaking it will, but Navi's not gonna be able to follow that up at all. Good zoning by the rest of the team and the Glimpse kinetic field.
They do have a Ravage. They'll let this one fly. Are they still going to engage? It's a big epicenter from Kuroki. That will find 3, and all of a sudden, Navi America just getting run over here. They might lose more. The Jakiro thrown up in the air, drop back down, and then brought to earth. That's 3 dead. They put them down and nearly find a 4th in the Disruptor. This team took a bottom tier 3 at 11 minutes, but now has been getting borderline team wipe twice in a row. That's another 4 kills.
It's too straight.
Huge epicenter by Kuroki there. That won them the fight.
Is under
Yeah,
attack.
three-man burrow strike and epicenter will turn around just about any fucking.
For
Yes.
the-
Radiant's
the
middle
Mott
tower
notes.
has
The
fallen.
The
big,
Mott notes.
the big insight.
And Mott's
Thank you,
Mott's smiling. Glad you're happy, Mott. It's too early to be truly happy.
And see, this is a bit of a problem with the Radiant here. Because
Oh, Kuro slightly off the mark, but there's really no way to punish that. In fact, he's dropping quickly, and with the dust there, he will be slated to fall.
and this is one of the problems with I was going to talk about with the Radiant line camp, because if you're Navi
Radiant's
US,
top
the thing that
tower
you
is
do
under
right now
attack.
if you're on Dire
Is you Roche.
is you Roche. We're behind, but we're defend a Roche fight, and we can kill it fast. But since they're Radiant, they can't really go for this catch-up Roche, and they'll be forced to have to death ball again.
And it's actually very dangerous to go into the pit. Puppy gets Shadowblade right click, he will, but now he's just left on an island a bit. Where's that backup? Oh, the tide's coming. The boat is coming. Krax will crack and shell it off, and now looks to turn around. He's pretty low, though. He's pops the mech, and they're just hesitating a bit here. During this time, Korok, or not Korok. Now I'm actually starting to mix them up. Kuroki's epicenter is getting close to pulling down, and he'll find one on the retreat out. There's your burrow to start things off. The arrow let loose. Will fail to connect.
Great ice path. Yeah.
Fogged, actually 2 great ice paths now. The first one, as 1437 might get caught in the river, was the prediction ice path on Kuroki retreating through the trees.
Now if Navi overextends, they'll be able to be glimpsed back.
Korok, oh, taking some big damage. They have such a good lineup against Dragon Knight. They've got the pure damage. Of Imp as well as all the Timbersaw nukes, and that Dragon Knight's just mid-man draft. They can break high ground. I was a little surprised he didn't go BKB.
Right, I'm surprised he didn't go BKB or more of a
BKB first. I mean.
BKB first, right. I wouldn't have had a problem with BKB into AC, honestly, just because they're not really able to do these roaming ganks where Korok catches somebody out in the jungle and it gets followed up by a support or a global Ancient Apparition or Invoker Sunstrike like the normal.
The rest of the team just doesn't really synergize that well with it, it feels.
That's why the reason why you go Shadowblade on Dragon Knight is being able to get the easy Dragon Tails off. And they don't really have the lineup
to set up
follow
kills
it up.
really. Like
Right.
any good team is gonna have sentry wards like in the if you're going for a big push, you'll have sentries ready. So it's more
Right.
just for ganking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's for ganking. It's so you can go and find someone and with an easy Dragon Tail follow it up
Yeah.
with the rest of your team. But that's not the style of play. that
Radiant's bottom
Narvi's really
tower
going
is under
for, so I
attack.
agree that's kind of
It just feels out of sync. The one thing it is good for is scouting out glimpse targets, though. I
Dyer's
will give it that.
courier
So
has been
as the
killed.
Dire Courier gets sniped,
Oh.
Radiant's bottom
What was on
tower
it?
is under attack.
Roland, give us the dire.
did the Wolves snipe
click
it?
the button?
Oh wow, big plays. That is. Well, it only has observers, but
Oh,
they
there we are.
they might actually be out of observers. I'm not sure if they have any available in the shop, so that could actually turn out to be a pretty big deal because right now, Na'Vi EU is playing fully in the dark. They might even find this Timbersaw as Funnick walks towards mid. Status dead.
Can we drop the A?
Yeah, that's just
I
thinking.
really I have to ask.
That's your jam. I'm all for dropping the Good looks back the Timbersaw and Funnick gets caught out. Are they gonna ravage for this?
Yeah. They're just gonna back off. So, this is really tough for Navi US because, like I said, they can't secure a Roshan to try to catch up in terms of just general network. The goal is pretty even, and that's generally because just the tower advantage, I believe. But I still feel like they're behind in terms of you see a fairly significant experience lead for Navi Classic. So, and they're forced to team fight here, and they don't really want to team fight.
Their lineup is feeling pretty underwhelming right now. Like this stage of the game, it's not the strongest for Navi at America. Once they have double BKB on Dragon Knight and Lycan, they get a whole lot scarier. That's where Kunkka or Mirana needs to be farmed, and frankly, Mirana's she's got a Yasha. This hero just does not hit that hard with right clicks. Even if you leap, you get a little attack speed, that's nice and all, but you're not going to blow up a Dragon Knight or a Lycan with that, and that's where the Timbersaw won't be damaging you with all his pure damage from nukes, the Impetus won't be affecting you, and you'll be in good shape.
Right.
So I think Navi America are just kind of at a weak spot in their timings, but they get a lot stronger with the double BKB.
Right, then we're going to see just about a minimum Roche respawn. Minimum
Wait,
time
are there two mechs?
for 2 minutes on one team?
Can we see the items here, Travis?
For Navi US? Or not?
They are. That's got to be a pipe at a casual
It
buckler.
looks like Theben.
He started to build mech and then probably is realizing that, and now he'll go for the pipe instead. Buckler's not a terrible value item. It's not going to help you too much grouping up, but
Remember when
Radiant's
Buckler
bottom
used to
tower
stack
has fallen.
and you can just buy a Buckler for the Essence Aura procs?
BKB is out on Snake, and he's going to commit to this tower mid, and Dendy still gets the deny right in his face. Oh, man. That's frustrating.
Was that a 10-second BKB too?
Yes. If he gets the tower, totally worth it. But not getting the tower, oh, that's not so good. They do take the tower down, so it does mean the next time that if Navi US manages to win a big fight, they can threaten double racks. They can take bottom, obviously, with the exposed tier 3 or exposed racks, as well as mid with only the tier 3 still.
And the decision for Navi US here is going to have to be where do they push next. They're probably going to try to, I don't know if they'll try to contest this rush. I don't even know if they'll be able to scout it out. They scouted out with the Wolves just now. But I don't know if they might try, but they're kind of off. And yeah. Navi, like we're going to point out, a very good vision of the jungle. I think Navi's going to take this relatively easily.
This is a dangerous place to fight for both teams. The team that gets caught, but there's an observer ward here for the Dire. They are spotting this Disruptor's movement out. And he sentries, but I believe it's just out of vision.
Navi's taking this kind of tentatively. They're
Oh,
running
no.
their heroes out of the pit. They're not killing it as fast.
Roshan has fallen to the
Engagement,
dark.
but they will take it down in the end.
This is so crucial. It's really not about the Aegis for Navi EU. It's about denying it to Navi
Dyer's
US.
top
Because you
tower
give them
is
the
under
Aegis, then they
attack.
are breaking high ground.
So yeah, what is Narvi's next objective here? They can try to push that top tier tower, but that is a very dangerous tower to push with absolutely no vision of the opponent's jungle.
Yeah.
They can try to take the racks, but pushing high ground when you're behind like this is almost impossible.
Their lineup's pretty strong late game. I don't think they have to force fights. Like they can win early to mid game with corrosive breath as well as the liquid fire. Well, okay. they're going to try and force one. If they get the jump, it's still fine, but and they do have the Shadowblade Dragon Knight to initiate. Not sure if Navi EU actually has detection. And we'll see Kuroki. He reveals the entire smoke gank. The raiding party is completely thwarted. Although, as I say that, now it's going the other way. The Moonlight Shadow gets popped. They'll deploy a Dust here. I think it just missed Funny.
But it was enough to keep him from engaging. So it kind of did the same.
And they got cold feet. They'll back off.
Right. So I think that was a good decision by Narvi. Like they can't really just run at towers right now. Did Korak get seen by that chocolate? I think he did.
Oh, he's got a BKB though. He's gonna turn this one around. Goes right onto Funnick. The boat will fly. Will it connect? Not sure if it hit anyone. But Brax now on the chase. They'll glimpse back Funnick. They've got a Ravage waiting. He's gonna timber right out. Wow, he went flying, man. That's a Spider-Man move. Kuroki jumping in with the epicenter. That'll connect on 2, and now Fog caught out, dropping low. Alive for the time being, though, and they will bring down in the end the Chikiro. Everybody melting. 3 heroes dead on the side of Navi America. It's going to be 4. They're just getting cleaned up, and it's not enough, as Korak will be next on the list, and that's going to be a 5-man beatdown. Oh, no.
Well, yeah, I don't think Navi is going to.
And they're smiling. They're celebrating a bit by pushing top, but this is stoic faces from Navi Americas. They might be on their way to finishing the group stage 0-5.
It's good for the Battle Royale. If you want the Battle Royale, this is what you want to have happen.
Well, Korak's been working out, so
Well, they won't be involved. They're guaranteed last place, so they're the odd man out.
Oh, you're right. That's
Battle
only for
Royale.
the tiebreakers.
Right.
I thought we were gonna just decide the tournament.
Oh, that's fine too if we want to do that.
But there's some other members of the gun show here. We've got Hani as well. Could give Korak a run for his money, perhaps.
So Navi US definitely not completely out of this match, but they are going to really need to get either lucky or very good in regards to a team fight. They're going to have to just have a perfect engagement, get a really solid 3 to 4 man trade, honestly, and before they can get back in it, because right now they're just really far behind.
Well, between lucky and good, I think you have all possibilities covered. So
Okay, they either have to get lucky with a team fight or execute like perfectly.
Okay.
Is what I meant to say.
Okay.
Words are hard to come by. That's
still a mott note, no matter how you try.
It's still a mott note. It's okay.
It's okay.
I'm saying
we're gonna
it's
get
okay,
through this
so
together.
It's okay.
Okay.
We will persevere.
It's fine. But you look at Navi US right now, and they keep on struggling to execute in team fights, but I actually think they're still okay if they just calm down and farm. End of the day, Navi EU is not that scary late game. They've got a very good late game lineup, but it's not like they're dramatically better than Navi US. So I still feel they're in this one, despite it just feels like psychologically they have yet to win a game and they just keep on taking bad engagements, and that can't feel good. Well, they're going on the Enchantress, though. Unfortunately, not really committed to this one. Korak's hunting for other heroes on the backside of the fight. The arrow's going to fly. That will connect. Now, Static Storm deployed, and 1437 left to his own devices. Navi US just seems uncoordinated. They'll let the Ravage loose, but it only barely manages to clip 2, and just no follow-up for that one. Now, in comes the Sandgate Epicenter on Korak right as his BKB will end, and now just absolutely incinerated by the Timber Saw. Not quite killed off, though. He'll keep on retreating. And the Disruptor also on the run. So they've already lost one. They're going to lose more here. Snaking, tanking those imps to the face. And down he goes. They are not in sync, Brian. That is...
We talked about how this team is well-rounded in a lot of ways, but in regards to their...
You can just see the killer instinct of Navi EU really kicking in right now. They're just blowing them up.
And they really just don't have the gank potential they need. They have no burst damage. We noticed they found Puppy out in a bad place for him. They went on him, they gushed him, they used a lot of abilities on him, but they just don't have... What burst damage do they have in this lineup? Breathe Fire is their only really strong nuke.
I just feel like their main issue in these fights is just not only lack of burst damage, but also just focus fire. Right. They are not just focusing here and blowing them up. If you look at the way that Navi EU approaches the fights, yeah, they have more burst damage with Timbersaw and Mirana in particular, but they're also just saying, we're going to kill this hero first, and they just go. And you look at Navi America, and it feels like they don't have someone just saying, this is the hero to focus, just go. Because they isolate Enchantress, and then Korak starts chasing in the backlines for another target with the Shadowblade Dragon Tail. But in the meantime, his team's getting gone upon, and they just get blown up. So I'm not sure who's calling the shots in the team fights, but if they could just sort that out, I think they'd be a lot scarier.
It's also having
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
old school
Dyer's top
Navi
tower
style.
is under
Just because
attack.
if there's
Dyer's
one
top
thing this
tower
team
has
does well,
fallen.
it's team fight execution. They've been playing together for quite a while now. A lot of the players, some of the players have been playing together for upwards of 3 years on the same team.
Yeah, Navi EU should have the better execution. in
Right.
part.
They've got that twin ESP going on where they just kind of
Dyer's
know
top tower is under
know how to
attack.
execute team fights a lot of the time without even having to say it. So it's hard to out-execute a team that is this.
And now there's as though it wasn't enough with the epicenters from Kuroki, he's now got an Axe. And, well, I don't think we've actually seen a whiffed epicenter. There's been a few that only hit one hero, but he's still at least connected on somebody and killed them every time.
Kuroki's been so on point this entire game. From securing their lane bottom at the beginning of the game to going around and ganking a lot in the late laning stage and just winning that stage for Navi handily when maybe shouldn't have.
I think it is a good point that you made earlier, though, about damage output, because they just don't have much sustained damage. Ravage and that initial Shadow Blade right click plus the Breathe Fire Dragon Tail it's okay burst. Disruptor ult's okay. Lycan he'll get off a few right clicks, maybe a single crit in a fight, but they just don't have a lot. Whereas Timbersaw's got massive burst on a very low cooldown. Mirana's got a pretty spammable combo that hits hard, and I mean Kunkka, he's insane as well. So
Dot's like Thunderstrike and Liquid Fire and Breathe Fire against a Kunkka and a team that that has a lot of healing and ways to mitigate damage over time is just not very much damage. Like it's just easy to deal with.
Well,
dot damage is dot damage.
dot damage.
I don't know who
The
saying that.
the
but
TI.
Yeah, the TI.
The TI core.
Was it Bulba the other day that was talking about how weak damage over time is in team fights? I can't remember who it was. But it's just easier to deal with.
You know, it's like people say Shadow Strike's like what a 350 damage nuke or something. It's, no, that happens over such a long stretch of time. You've got passive regen to take into account, and on top of that, just any other form of heal.
We got the observer pause.
Oh, it's one of the Chinese casters.
Yeah.
Okay, wasn't our observer, so I feel a little bit better. Fire Vici game.
Thank God that was not at a important moment. No phenol pauses.
Yes, please no phenol pauses, guys.
It's unfortunate that's what most people know phenol for.
Well, that's neither here nor there. So we'll have an Assault Caress on the way for Snake King. It's just a bit slow, the item progression, and
no, it has. They haven't been able to farm. They've been having to force all these fights, and they haven't been able to.
I mean, you go back to the first bad fight for Navi America, and it was that fight bottom. They took the tier 3, they saw the Timbersaw buyback, and they could have just walked away. Maybe one hero dies to X, that's it. Everyone else can get out for sure.
They just got too.
And then they thought about sticking around. Then they tried to run, and they lost like 3 heroes. And that's where I just feel like there's not one person, one voice in the room saying, guys, we're going to take this tower, and then we're going to back immediately. Some want to stay, some want to go, and the end result is just giving up extra kills. Then the same thing happened in the top fight. So
it's also one of those things.
But those are like easily corrected mistakes.
Right.
And if had they done that, I think Navi US would have been in the driver's seat this game.
It's one of those things. You went 0-4 in the group stage so far. You know you're in the losers bracket to start with. There's no way to deal with that. This was kind of the hype game for you coming in, getting to play your now brother team, and they just said they were glad it was going that well. Like it was like, okay, we can take Iraq's now. We can kind of get ourselves in the driver's seat. Of course, we're going to try to take this, and they weren't really thinking clearly.
And now there's a Daedalus on Dendi. So your Dragonite has picked up a Maelstrom, but I mean, let's be honest. This Kunkka is going to do a lot more in team fights at this point. Just mass AoE damage. And Dendi's the leader in terms of net worth at this point. He's got to have been involved in most of their kills. They're leading by a hefty chunk. Leading 27-16. Navi EU, and we do miss a kill mid. Kuroki getting caught out there.
Was he just scouting to
Probably just looking for a pick off, maybe trying to ward and just gets caught by potentially the Shadowblade Dragonite. But losing your Sand Key now, unless it's in a position where they can actually take racks, doesn't really matter. Because he's already got his Blink Axe, so him dying is I think he'll be up in time to defend, so not the biggest deal. It's a kill. It's definitely nice for Navi US.
And there's still a tower in this mid lane too. If they push it, they try to push it to the high ground, they won't be able to breach it.
Well, they'll move into the enemy jungle and just start split pushing. But now Mirana starts to hit a bit harder. Havos will pick up the Desolator. Dendi's got the Daedalus already mentioned. And this is, not only do they have the burst damage from nukes, but now even with the BKBs, they can fight their way through those. That's pretty concerning for Na'Vi America.
So yeah, I think Na'Vi at this point is just about ready to group and start taking some engagement.